This is Thanksgiving 2019, the year. I'm out here right now making a second video. The first video this morning was pertaining to me having to call the Weakley County Sheriff's Department out here. That in total probably makes about the 50th call since I've come back here in 2014. Averaging somewhere between 12 to 15 complaints a year. Now we're going on the 5th year towards me coming back here. And of course, since I've come back here, all that I have received is aggravation, intimidation, infuriation, and people trying to bully their way in thinking that they can either run me out or shame me in some sort of way. The thing about it is, the shame falls upon the judicial system in this area, because it wouldn't matter if I was voodoo, Hindu, Muslim, or any other form of religion. Law enforcement in not only this area, but in the United States of America, is supposed to protect people from this type of anti-Semitism. To take these signs that wasn't hurting nobody, that says that we stand with Israel. I will bless them that bless thee. I will curse thee that curse thee. Pertaining to Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. For people to come out here and deliberately want to take something, I don't know what it was, maybe a fishing pole, maybe a stick, and mutilate these signs, vandalize that sign again, that I had it not only just tied up, but screwed. As you can see, these screws right here. See those screws? Those screws was attached to each post. So there was no way that wind blowed that off. There was no way that wind chewed these signs up that way. There was no way that wind took these steel rods and basically bent them over like this, to the degree of just trying to destroy this Wounded Warriors Association, USA, military, Purple Heart, ordained by the United States government since '72. This was my father's combat plate that he had on the back of his automobile before he died of him fighting in World War II. They took the peacocks, throwed them out to the side. They went in and vandalized the lights that glow. But yet now, according to certain people in this area, I'm asking for this, pertaining to Derek Coble, that has made reference that I'm the one instigating all this. Even though this is my property and those signs ain't harming or hurting nobody. That shows you the idiocy. I repeat, it shows you the idiocy towards the mindset, towards a group of people that are basically, as far as I'm concerned, crazy. I'm surprised that they didn't go ahead and tear this sign up, and probably would have had if it wouldn't have resulted in so much time and effort towards getting it down. Within the first 3 months or 6 months, I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt, within the first year, I posted this sign out here pertaining to all suspicious persons and activities will be immediately reported to our police department. Neighborhood watch. We look out for each other. There has been nobody, I repeat, nobody that has been trying to look out for the individual that's talking to you right now by the name of Dennis James Juby Jackson. There has been nobody looking out for this property, including the judicial system pertaining to Tommy Moore, Judge Pence, or any other law enforcement agency within 100 miles of this area. Nobody. A matter of fact, they wish that it would become desecrated immediately. Now, they won't tell you that to your face, publicly, but privately, that's exactly how they feel about the Windmill Ministries. Because I'm standing up and I'm telling the truth about my story and about these people that have turned their back on our United States military. The only reason why that they didn't bother this is because they know that I've got this sitting here as an entrapment of cameras watching it day and night in case they was to come out here and vandalize this, which is a Thanksgiving decoration that now after today will be dismantled until next year, and next year we'll possibly put something else up here that may be similar, that may be different. But it talks about the blessings, the Thanksgiving blessings that was received for the pilgrims of them coming over here and supposedly making peace with the red man. It's obvious that they've never wanted peace with the red man, the Native American man. They have always spit on him and put him down of him being last. And now their own laws, their own ideals is clashing with each other to the point that now they have no one to blame, and they're not going to blame themselves for what has occurred here. It would be easier to blame someone such as myself. The reason why that I put the beast out here is for a metaphor coming out of the Bible pertaining to how the beast will rise in regards to the two witnesses, in regards to the opening of the first seal, in regards to the 7 trumpets, the 7 seals, and then the 7 trumpets that will follow. These people don't want biblical Bible prophecy to fulfill itself. And because of it, this is Satan's way of lashing out at the very individual that tried to warn these people and tell these people the truth. And to this day, they're not only still in denial, but to this day, they still refuse to acknowledge the message coming from the messenger, and they rather that the messenger be thrown to the wolves, figuratively speaking, or possibly even literally speaking. I would go as far as say more so literally speaking than just figuratively speaking, especially those around here. But out of all the neighbors that have watched this and observed this either on YouTube or Facebook, out of all the people that could have stepped up to the plate by standing up for the same things that we stand for, they have remained idle. They have remained displacent. They have remained silent. And they wonder how come that their government keeps going backwards and their children keeps being inundated by all these wicked demonic spirits that's turning them into monsters, literally. It's because that they have turned their backs on their Lord and their Savior, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now once more, they'll tell you, oh no, that's not so. We believe in the Lord. Yeah. And you also believe in your own being devoured out here by a wicked group of people that is dead set towards wanting to agitate and aggravate my life to the very, very core, that Tommy Moore, our law enforcement, should have put an end to over the second or third time. I just got through speaking to my niece out in California, and her reply was, Dennis, if this would have went on in any other county other than the county of Weakley County, some sheriff or some judge would have done already put an end to all of this. And the only way that they knew to end it was to attack the one who was being victimized to begin with, which was myself. And the only reason why that David and I had even raised a red flag to the people across the road, because of the abusiveness that was going on with 6, 5, 4, and 2-year-old children. That was the only reason why that we called up Child Abuse Center in Nashville and Child Abuse Center in Weakley County, and got absolutely no results whatsoever pertaining to monitoring this situation out here. A matter of fact, instead of us being rewarded for doing our Good Samaritan duties, our civil duties, I got punished. And it's the very house now that you can see through the tree line over there that has been one of the initiators, along with the Ridgway family, along with the Sheffield family, and others that has sat idly by, that has watched this escalate and evolve into where it is today. To attack our symbols is an act of terrorism. And better than that, for those who have watched this materialize the way that it has, and not stand up against this type of aggression, are just as guilty of those that is committing the act. So today, Thanksgiving 2019, we fly not only the Christian flag, but the pirate flag in the name of the Navy, representing mission accomplished. Because now the trueness has come out towards how lame, how hideous, how full of hypocrisy and corruptfulness that this area really stands for. To allow for this bull, you know what, to go on again and again and again and again and again. Like I said, give or take about 15 times a year, maybe even more. I'm sure you can call the sheriff's department and they've got every telephone call on file, on record, pertaining to what has happened out here since I've come back in 2014. That all originated from a group of people that disliked what I was preaching and what I was telling. A bunch of people that was full of anti-Semitism. And like I said, it wouldn't matter. A matter of fact, Melvin Hill, the very ones that bought this field over here in front of me right here, bought it from my parents because they wound up losing it because of being hoodooed by the old folks home up in Dresden. Told me from the get-go, Dennis, they'd think a whole lot more of you if you was Hindu. They would think a whole lot more of you if you was some kind of crazy, barbaric, heathenistic religion, including the Wiccans. They would think a whole lot more of you, Dennis, than to come back preaching in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So let today stand as a record, as a testimony of flying these flags representing a successful mission towards how unfit that their law enforcement agencies here in Weakley County truly is, beginning with their top judges, their prosecuting attorneys, their law enforcement agencies, their probation agencies, as well as the people that work in the Dresden courthouse to begin with. I don't care if they're shuffling around papers pertaining to taxes. Because all of you have sat out here and watched this. All of you have witnessed this. Again and again and again. And yes, the very reason why that David and I put this cross up was for a symbol of how corrupt and perverted that the system truly is towards it being broke. The broken cross. Because the cross, in essence, only represents what the humanity form done to Christ. The cross has nothing to do with the actual salvation of mankind. It's what went on that cross. Which, once more, what went on that cross is nothing more than a shameful act coming from the laws of the political officials up onto this planet. This is a sad day because of everything that's going on with our president pertaining to the impeachment trials and our country being torn apart. It's more than just a hypocrisy. It's an abomination. It's an abomination that the world now can witness. And as I was talking to my niece a while ago, thank God for the media, the social media platform that God is allowing for me to use pertaining to YouTube and other methods towards getting my message out. Because if I did not have these tools at my disposal, they would have done already come out here and either burnt me out, run me out, or done something crazy towards trying to taint and end the Windmill Ministry's existence. They are that dead set that they do not want biblical Bible prophecy to be fulfilled in this area within 150 mile area. Going all the way down to Memphis, all the way down to Decaturville, all the way over to Nashville, all the way up to Paducah, Kentucky. If you do a circle, that's basically the Bible Belt. And these are the people that has fought against this ministry the way that they have. And these are the people that has corrupted this country and turned it upside down to the point that now there is no hope for the weak. There is no hope for the poor. There is no hope for the true godly people. Now only the rich dominate the poor. And of course, whenever you have drug addicts and alcoholics and people with messed up minds that are fighting for their identity, they're basically the foot soldiers to these people. They are the trigger man. They are their workhorses at work that come out here periodically again and again and again to do their dirty work. Why the judges, why the DAs, why the prosecuting attorneys, why the rich sit back and snigger and laugh and make fun of what has went on at 291 Thompson Road, Sharon, Tennessee, zip code 38255. Like I was telling my niece a while ago, death to the majority of these people is too good. The only thing that I can do at this point in time is to pray that the system will hurry up and become broke to the point that it goes belly up, and they'll initiate the mark of the beast 666, and that these idiots that think that this is just some sort of a game will go ahead and take that number, take that brand, take that mark, 666. That way God and God alone, that the Bible talks about, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, will show these incriminating, demonic, sorcery type, evil, wicked people who's truly in charge. And it ain't going to be the wickedest of the wicked pertaining to Judge Telly up in Benton, Kentucky. It ain't going to be Judge Woodall over in Trigg County, over towards Cadiz, Kentucky. It ain't going to be Tommy Moore. It ain't going to be the corrupt judges that turned their heads and allowed for the people to be deceived towards what actually happened, not only in Waco, but also what happened in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. But it's going to be all the above. It will be all the above. And whenever it's all said and done with, I'll be in the corner saying, nanny, nanny, boo, boo, I told you so. I told you it was gonna happen. You laughed, you made fun, you sat back and allowed for us to be criminalized the way that we was criminalized by all these people, and trying to say that I was the one that was crazy, that I was the one that was the criminal. And the whole time it was people like Tommy Moore, Judge Pence, other law enforcement agencies around here that has sat idly by and laughed and sniggered. And just like I told my niece a while ago, the core, the original core, where all this begun, was right here in Northwest Tennessee. This is where it all began back in 1988. Whenever 9 tapes was sent to the White House, whenever the Reagans and the Bushes decided that they was going to play the same game in trickery and lying to the American people and not exposing the truth to the church world. And now, because of the shame, the corruption, and now because the way that they have been injected with this type of disease, now they all stand guilty at the feet of the great white throne judgment that is upon us all. And that includes me. You know, I've said before and I'll say again, may God have mercy on us all. There's people out there that I actually pray, and I know this may not be the right prayer to pray, but because of me knowing who they are and what they're made of and what they're about, I actually pray that God won't have mercy upon these people. Because out of all the people that deem under the laws of justice that deserve this type of treatment pertaining to hell, fire, and brimstone, it's them. It's them. And until they're willing to go back, just like the Bible talks about in the first 4 chapters of Revelations, to go back and to do thy first works over again, I pray that misery will fall upon these people such as it has never fallen upon them before, such as being broke, such as being sick, such as their children becoming polluted with all this corruption pertaining to their jobs going south and their land becoming desolate. All these farmers around here done well this year. Did I hear of any of them stopping here and saying, Juby, is there anything we can do for you? Even Mr. Melvin Hill spoke about the only thing that he was doing was complaining about, oh, we got beat up this year because of Donald Trump and what went on with China. He hurt us at least $2 or $3 a bushel. But in the meantime, all the favorable rains had come. Instead of getting 40 bushels to the acre, some of these people got more like 55, 60, 75 bushel to the acre. So it made up with the yield. But do you hear any of them bragging about that? Oh, no. No, they're still complaining about their little $2 bit that they lost because of Donald Trump. I have never seen a society so wicked that deserves whatever falls upon them. And as I have said, and I'll say again, God works in mysterious ways. And out of all the sacrificing that this ministry has went through, the only thing that I can pray for is God's will be done. And if that means the collapse of the economy, if that means the collapse of the dollar bill, if that means the existence of the mark of the beast, then so let it be done. So let it be done. Because these people that I'm talking about, death, and I'm not talking about a figuratively death, I'm talking about a literal death. Death is too good for the majority of these people that have been active in pursuing this type of stalking and this type of aggravation. Much less the people that has sat idly by, that has witnessed it, and didn't raise not one iota, not one finger on behalf of the windmill ministries. We don't put up signs out here for the heck of it. To put up a sign like this that says, we look out for each other, was not put there to laugh, to ridicule, to make fun of, was not put there for a gesture. But I have seen these in other good communities before. This very same sign. And I read it, and I looked at it, and it said, dial 911 to report suspicious activity. All suspicious persons and activities are immediately reported to our police department. Well, you know, at that particular person with this particular logo on that particular sign in that particular neighborhood, they may have a good police department. They may have a decent judge. They may have a decent prosecuting attorney. They may have decent people that live around in the area that is in pursuit of love, joy, peace, and utopia. It's pretty obvious that this neighborhood down here is not in those regards. Not only this area pertaining to the Hop-In, Cydonia, Tennessee area is not in alliance with that very same thing that I just got through reading, that, like I said, I put up within 6 months to a year whenever I first come back here in 2014. But this whole county, this whole region, going all the way up into Kentucky, anything pertaining to the Bible Belt area is opposite to what it ought to be. Now, if you go out west, you'll find those signs. If you go up towards Virginia, North Carolina, and other areas of the country, you'll find those signs. And you'll find people that's standing behind those signs because they believe in watching each other's back. But not here. Only thing they want to believe in is aggravation, bulliness, intimidation, infuriation, and trying to ruin the messenger because they don't like the message. I'm going to see people burning in hell because of what has went on here in the past 4 3/4 years. Almost 5 years. I'm going to see people burning in an eternal hell, beginning with law enforcement all the way down to the dumbest of the dumbest around here, to those that is infested with drugs and etc. around here. I'm going to see people burning in hell because of what that they have done. Or not so much what that they did do, it's what they didn't do, including the Whites, the Bakers, the Willises, the Cobles, the Mackrights, the Coopers, the Morgans, the Harrises. I could go on and on and on with names. The Neals, especially the Neals over in Kenton, Tennessee. Especially them people. They won't stand a snowball chance in hell once God gets a hold of them the way that they could have mentored the individual that's talking to you right now. They can give all the money they want. But until I see redemption, until I see an act of kindness, until I see people that's willing to say, we're sorry, we done you the way that we done you, or we're sorry towards allowing for this to go on as long as it has, and we didn't do nothing about it. Until I see it, hear it, and experience it, I guarantee you I'll see these people in hell. I will see these people in a literal burning, not a figurative hell, but a literal hell towards suffering for what has went on here. Secret Service, the Reagans, the Bushes, the state of Tennessee, the state of Oklahoma, the state of Kentucky has been a part of destroying this nation and turning it upside down. Mission accomplished. Shalom.